my pouring friends. Oh, did you see that big knee bump? Well, this is kind of a bit of an indulgence today. I'm going to be doing a peacock pour soon, but I wanted to give you a bit of a look at these global paints that I got yesterday to encourage you to get some if it's in your budget this fortnight. This one's metallic cyan, and I will do the showing you. The sun's not out, so you're not even going to really get a good sense of the depth of the shimmer and the richness of the colour. But these are a gorgeous range of paints. So actually I might just show you all like that and then mix up my paints off camera and then maybe do the pour. How does that sound? Sounds brilliant. This colour is called, oh, what's it called? Diamond. Beautiful. It looks like it's going to be quite translucent, so know that your paints won't be well framed by it, or your pour won't be well framed, but it's still gorgeous colour. All of these are just ridiculously gorgeous. And they came out, I don't know when they came out, but I found them yesterday and couldn't help but myself but buy them. This is metallic brilliant blue, and boy, it is brilliant, and its shimmer is very promising. So excited to see what these are like in the next 2 or 3 days when the drying period's over. The next colour is metallic fuchsia, and it's a stunner. Oh my god, so beautiful. The next colour is metallic black. Oh, they're just called metallic. Some of them are just called metallic black and haven't been given a name worthy of their gleam. Like, I don't know why this wasn't called Starry Midnight. That would have been a good name for it. But again, the metallics are in there, shimmering there to their delight. And my favourite one I've left to last, metallic lavender. How gorgeous is that? So I'll get on with mixing up my paints, and then let's pour this gorgeous stuff and see how it goes. Oh, I thought I'd do one mixing of the paint to consistency on camera, because sometimes it's just helpful. So once again, just going through the process, I have a mixture on the side of Floetrol and water, and I add that to the paint to bring it up to the consistency that I like. And talking about consistency, you know, there is no perfect consistency, because each consistency will give you a delightful different type of outcome. A thicker one will give you more defined cells, rounder, plumper, but too thick, they won't get big and they won't spread. A thinner consistency will allow your paints to stretch and glide over the canvas and for you to have ginormous cells, but upon the drying period they might not hold and can lose their integrity. Each consistency is still awesome, so it really depends on what outcome you're seeking. And in the notion of outcome that you're seeking, I'd like to encourage you to maybe have that vision in your mind and aim for it. But if you get something different, embrace it. Put your painting aside for a day, a month even. Go back and have a look at it when your expectations have dropped, and you will find that more often than not, you'll probably like your painting because you've lost the original expectation that was attached to it and can see the beauty. Have you ever had posted a picture that you haven't been that crash hot on, and yet everyone's really, really praising it because it's glorious, but it didn't match what you were hoping for? So that's just, you know, another way to start appreciating your paintings a bit more. Okay, so I've got my, I think this was the, I will just call it the metallic blue. I haven't got them near me again to show you the to tell you the right color, but just giving you a little bit of a close-up so you can see how that's drizzling into the cup and what the paint looks like as it comes upon itself. And now I'm going to add 2 parts of pouring medium, and I'm doing this by sight. So my paint's coming to here, so I'm going to bring my pouring medium up to about here and then give that a good stir, and that will be done. The pouring medium I'm using today is one we all made together a little while ago. I can't believe that. Actually, no, this isn't it. I think I've made another lot since then. All right. Now, before I even stir, I want to show you how just by adding the pouring medium, the paint has got cells coming up in it, like it wants to sell, because that pouring medium's lovely. And I'll just show you close up how the color that looked quite dark on the side does absorb into the pouring medium. And whilst it may look a little bit lighter because the pouring medium is white, it will dry back to its vibrant blue because the pouring medium itself dries clear. So it's like an optical illusion. And this is a good one for you to see how much, you have to actually stir. See, this is not still mixed, and sometimes people only stir for that long. You know, it can take a good couple of minutes to get all of the white streaks out, checking the sides, you know, all of this here to make sure that's all the same color is another good indication that you've got the paint all mixed up nicely. And it doesn't take much, but it does take a bit of patience. So I know when you start you want to pour like crazy. I know that I was pouring, I called it my frenzy period. I was just pouring like a mad woman. Though I still am a bit mad, but that's a whole different other story. So, you know, with these paints that I'm preparing now, I'll mix these all up now and then go in and do something inside for an hour or so, and then come back and pour with these, because I like to give my paints a bit of time, and pouring medium a bit of time to sort of come together. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to get on with doing all the other colours, and I hope that that was helpful. I wonder what our creation is going to be. I wouldn't put the camera on again until it was time to pour, but I'm in the middle of doing the black, and I just wanted to show you what happened when I added the pouring medium. It was just so worthy of you having a peek of that in process, because wow. So that's literally the black brought up to consistency with my combination of water and Floetrol, and then just pouring the pouring medium into the cup with the paint and not stirring yet. I'm going to stir now. Okay, let's keep moving. I promise this is the last one. I don't really. Just showing you how much silicone. I like to put the silicone into a much easier container to manage, simply because it's the coconut hair serum. I'll show you. It comes in this container, and it's quite difficult to control the way it comes out. So by putting it into a long nozzle like this, allows you to just really control the drips. So 1, 2, 3 in each. Oh, that was 4 in each of these size cups. And these cups are 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4 and make it even. These size cups, I can't remember what size. I'll have a look in a minute and let you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was a bit hasty. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use flat white as my layering colour and background, which is already made up here, and I won't add any silicone to that. With these, the stirring for me is just a fold. 1, 2, 3 in. 1, 2, 3 in, etc., etc. And then I like to let them sit for about minimum 10 minutes, and then even overnight. Well, that's a bit cheeky of me, isn't it? Because I went ahead and did a pour the other night, but it was too dark to show you the outcome. I'm still going to do a pour in a minute. I want to do a swipe in a minute. Ew, look how my cups have stuck to the back of the board. See there? Okay. So here it is. This is how the metallics, those gorgeous metallics finish. And I've got the light out so you can really see that reflection of them coming up. A little bit less vibrant than what I thought they'd come up at. Like, it's completely dry, but nonetheless still very metallic-y. I'm trying to just let that go in the light so you can really get an idea of what they're like. Okay, let's have a swipe and see how that looks. I want to get this video up. I won't post the dried outcome in this video because you can see how the paints look dried, nice and crystallized and really pretty. I don't know what's going on with this pour. Like, how weird is it? Where's that weird bit? Look there. It looks like the cup ended up landing there, but it was dark when I was pouring, so I just sort of poured in circular motion. One thing I'm criticizing about this particular pour is I think I used too much of the white diamond, and it sort of pasteled the colors down quite a bit. Let's see if you can have a look here. This speckles come up. It makes me feel like there's dust on it, but I know that once it gets a spray of varnish, it'll look gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. I don't know what I'll do with the outcome finish, but I do want to see what it looks like finished. All right, that's enough chatting. Let's do the swipe, okay? I just want to let you know I've sprayed some water on the back of my canvas, and that's the sound you want to go for to make sure it's nice and taut. See that? Alright, any more tribal dancing anyone wants to do? Oh, okay, let's keep moving. Come on, staying focused. Oh my golly gosh, I don't have a cup near me. So I'm just going to use a square container. So that'll make an interesting experiment in itself, don't you reckon? Okay, where's my white paint gone? Here. So I'm going to lay out some white paint. Or should I do that once I've got the paint flipped? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do it once the paint's flipped. Alright, so I'm going to go white at the bottom. And the reason that I'm using a flat white, well, you know, an unmetallic white that's not part of the global, is because it's got no silicone. All the others have silicone in it. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to try and let it layer rather than a big from up high. You know that if you pour your paint from up high, it cuts through, and it's good. Well, actually, maybe I will with this, because this paint is quite translucent. So that means that you'll get really... Oh, there was a dollop of paint, that skin that went in. Oh, and another one. Oh, lucky it's only just all experimental, isn't it? Though, I don't know, that one that I just did before, the swipe, it's really, 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 really pretty and attractive, and I might finish it right up and see how it goes. I actually think I know someone who would love it. I don't want to put any more white in it, because I'm going to surround it by white. And I don't necessarily want to use all the paint, or do I? What do I want to do? I'm just going to go with the flow. Here we go, out you come, paint. Oh, you come out. Oh no, I can't scrape there. It's got a bit too much of a skin. Okay, that's a bit skinny. Ew. Alright, it's alright. It's alright. Everything's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Might just put a little other layer of the supportive white to help frame the cells. Well, he's hoping it will. So look, all in all, I really reckon give these metallics a whirl. They're really, really nice. Shh, Jasmine. I know that I'm talking to somebody else. Yeah, give them a whirl. They're surprising, and I think that when I use them again in the future, I'm going to not use all metallics together, because it loses its impact. When it's got a flat color, that's when you can really see and appreciate the metallic next to it. When it's all metallic, you know, it does look good, but it just isn't highlighted. It's got nothing to contrast against. So just letting you know, that's why I like to use a combination of color. I know what I'll do. So I'll flip this, and then what I might do is run the metallic white around the negative space, but I actually think there won't be much negative space, don't you? Don't you think this is just going to have quite enough paint to cover the canvas indeed? I mean, look how much there is. I really think, like, how nice does that look? Can you see that sandwiched on the side? I'm scared to tilt it too much. Very nice. All right, let's go. I'm gonna do it like that, just making, no, that wasn't quite on. Okay, I've got it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for a moment so that all of the paints can move through each other. So it means that the paint is still in motion, and you know that yourself, that when you see yourself do a dirty pour, the paint's still moving and merging and mixing with each other and creating new colors and new effects. So that's why when we do our flip cup, or flip container as it is today, we let the paint have time to merge and push itself through. And how does it do that? Well, it's quite amazing. Jasmine, that's really enough. It's really quite amazing because paint has different weights within it. So that's why our titanium white is so good at supporting our cells and holding them in such a beautiful plump shape when you get your consistency to that desired outcome. I think I have spoken a little bit about consistency. You know, there is no right or wrong. You can go too thin and too thick where you won't get much effect. However, you know, there's a certain continuum that you can work between. Thinner, where you can stretch them out and really have huge blossoming cells that aren't well framed but still well supported. That didn't make quite sense, does it? They're still well supported, but the paint around it isn't thick because it's all thin. And then you can get cells that have got the thicker paint around them and just really holding them in a plump shape. And for me, I don't have a preferred style because I just love creating things differently all the time. But just keep experimenting with your pouring consistency. You'll find the right one for you, and it will depend on what you're wanting and your outcome, and you'll become more and more familiar with that as you go along your pouring journey. All right, shall we flip this? Well, we have. Shall we lift it? I'm going to lift and drag because I'm on the corner. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to have to get my hands ready quite early so that I don't lose too much paint. And there's certainly more than enough paint here to cover this canvas. The cells are coming up nicely and some beautiful lines. And it's going to naturally want to come over the edge. So just keep being patient. Have a look at this nice drippage down the side there. It's quite beautiful. I'll try and catch some of that while that's like, the cells are still forming, so you know that's why I'm not really doing too much right now. But what I'm doing with this side is catching this paint and encouraging it to, oh good Lord, did you see that goopy bit that came off? That was a blessing in disguise. So I'm going to catch that now and then imprint that here. And that's just going to help the side of my canvas have some interest. Though, in all honesty, I think that there is enough paint for this to go around everywhere. Oh, look, I'm going to lose those beautiful cells over there if I don't concentrate. Okay, I'm going to be quiet probably for a little bit while I do the tilting. It's only a 10 by 10, so I don't have a lot of space. Here, stop over here, and then straight back over there as to hold some of those awesome looking cells. Hear the rain? Gorgeous. I'm going to have to be quick there and get that cell back over here. Oh, I've lost it. Never mind. There's still some really interesting things taking shape and forming. And I am going to push my luck and stretch this down. Or should I? Or shouldn't I? What have I got that I can cover this part with? Well, how does that look? Well, that looks dreadful. Is there enough in there for a little bit of a dirty pour? Perhaps. And if it looks dreadful, I can cover it in white or a contrasting colour in a moment. Yeah, it doesn't match. So let's see if I can just do a line of the purple through that to help it kind of look a little bit more integrated. Bring that down there. Do that part on the side there. And might do a line of this blue, just like that. That's sort of looking okay. Pushing it, aren't I? Just by blending that in, it can help create the effect that it was naturally there. Let that come down the side there, that'll... And I think it might need, whoops, a little bit of the pink, and then I'm going to call it done, and we'll give it a bit of a... Oh, I've gone too far with the pink, guys. Oh, let's just move that through like that. That's looking all right. Okay. Oh, back shed's glazing up. Where's the torch gone? Needs a bit of a torch before we finish up. Here we go. I'm not wanting to torch and encourage cells out like I did in the last one. My swipe. Oh, by the way, I didn't talk through my swipe. Sorry about that. Oh, needs stopping time. Okay, that looks really nice. I'm going to work this side here and see if I can just get some cells popping up to make it look more integrated. Oh, that's looking different because remember it doesn't have any of the white base. And I think I might just choose this black line here to work some cells and caterpillars up in for area of interest. Now some people avoid doing things like that, but I just like it, you know. It's looking like a space line. All those three lines there. Heavy in galaxy. Really nice. I really like it. I'm going to need help to stop again. Why isn't someone here with me? Okay, just that little corner. It's enough. What about that area there? Like there's cells developing. Do I want to help them come up? Or is that enough? No, I think that's enough now. Otherwise it's going to get too busy. So in terms of composition, we've got it really looking good. Like the rule of thirds, we've got 1/3 here that's busy, 1/3 sort of here that's a lot cleaner with more negative space and some nice balance, and the other third here, even though they're not exact thirds, is more swirly. So we've got three different things happening in the one piece. I don't like that at all, but maybe I'll just torch that and see if it changes. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it is, but that's enough. I'm going to set the painting on fire. And I think we'll call that done. And thank you so much for watching. I wonder if I have the patience to actually let these dry and show you. No, I don't. I really want to get this video up because I've got some other things on that I want to concentrate on. So I think towards the end of this week, I might actually do a video of showing you a lot of the finished works that were examples in videos. That sounds like a good plan. All right, stay well, my pouring friends. Bye. Oh, that was a false alarm finish. I forgot that I haven't showed you stuff close up. So here we go. Here is the whole picture. This is the line that I worked with the torch. So how interesting and nice does that look? And over there, they're the natural cells and caterpillar cells. I actually love caterpillar cells. I think they're beautiful. And just really interesting, nice, happy piece. There's that area that I'm not so happy with, but it's actually fine. Like, you've got to look at the whole picture and not focus in on the things that annoy you. And here's the swipe that we did earlier together. And look at those colours merging together well. Very beautiful, very effective, and well done to all of us.